What if the friendship that defines your identity is actually a carefully constructed performance designed to keep you compliant, and the only way to survive the betrayal is to stop mourning the bond and start dissecting the architecture of the lie? In Lies Among Friends, Sabrina Wade delivers a psychological thriller that transforms the toxic friendship trope into a searing exploration of female intimacy as both sanctuary and weapon, proving that in relationships built on unspoken contracts, the most dangerous person in the room is often the one who knows your secrets well enough to rewrite them. This isn't merely another domestic suspense with shocking reveals. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every shared memory feels like both anchor and alibi. Consent to trust is negotiated through verified truth rather than assumed loyalty, and liberation requires honoring the self that existed before the friendship consumed her. From the first wine glass clink narration, listeners are immersed in a world where affection is currency and authenticity is the ultimate liability. Perfect for fans of character-driven suspense and stories where female rage is channeled into forensic clarity, this audiobook serves up relentless atmospheric dread, unflinching emotional honesty, and a protagonist whose journey from devoted confidant to sovereign truth-teller resonates with anyone who's ever been gaslit by the person who swore they'd never hurt you. When marketing executive Mara Chen discovers her best friend Ilara Vance has been systematically sabotaging her career while playing the supportive ally, she expects heartbreak, not to realize the betrayal began not with jealousy, but with a decades-old pact that redefined Mara's success as Ilara's entitlement. But as Mara navigates social circles and buried evidence, she understands this unraveling isn't about revenge, it's about reclamation. Wade masterfully avoids reducing Mara to naive victim or Ilara to cartoonish villain. Instead, she crafts a narrative where friendship becomes crime scene, where consent is renegotiated through boundary setting rather than emotional obligation, and where freedom emerges from seeing the relationship's design before it sees you. The audiobook narration amplifies this psychological vertigo, capturing Mara's disciplined composure fracturing into fierce clarity, while secondary voices shift subtly between performative concern and hidden agenda, making every conversation feel both confession and cross-examination. You don't just hear the deception unfold, you feel the seismic shift of a woman learning that some bonds can only be broken by refusing to play the role assigned to you. What elevates Lies Among Friends beyond typical friendship thrillers is its nuanced portrayal of female intimacy as systemic coercion rather than individual failing. Mara isn't merely exposing a betrayer, she's confronting how feminine socialization taught her to equate worth with relational harmony, challenging the notion that loyalty requires self-erasure. Her relationships evolve through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences with new allies whose skepticism encodes protection, establishing digital boundaries that bypass manipulated narratives, and defending her right to grieve the friendship without being consumed by it. Supporting characters add vital texture, mutual friends whose neutrality masks complicity, colleagues whose professionalism reflects institutional bias, even the city itself rendered as social archive whose curated spaces absorb decades of unspoken bargains. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In economies built on female performance, refusal is rebellion, and presence is the only true evidence. Even the thriller mechanics serve thematic depth, with text message timestamps mirroring emotional manipulation and social media posts becoming metaphors for manufactured reality. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into intimate dread. The narrator embodies Mara's evolution with remarkable range, from rehearsed warmth to trembling defiance, while supporting characters are distinguished with vocal textures that honor social performance without caricature. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy. Distant party chatter marking temporal disorientation, rain against apartment windows during vulnerable confessions, the hushed tap of phone screens syncing with breath during moments of revelation, all anchor psychological stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of social entrapment, deliberate during reflection and alliance building, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal awakening. Whether you're commuting through public spaces or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable pressure chamber where isolation feels absolute and agency feels lifeline. It's storytelling as embodied reckoning, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey where healing isn't about restoring trust, but about reclaiming self-trust. Press play, set the boundary, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by betrayal, hearts still find ways to return to truth. Your next favorite thriller isn't waiting in perfect friendships. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to see clearly.